own multiple rental properties and I'm a stock investor and options trader. So which investment is better? Let's talk money. Before I show you the historic numbers of which one performs better, let's take a moment to outline the fundamental distinctions between these two popular investment types. Stocks represent ownership in a company and are traded on the stock market, providing investors with a share of a company's profits and losses. Conversely, real estate involves owning physical property, be it residential or commercial. Real estate investments can generate income through rent and typically appreciate in value over time. Let's take a look at a few pros and cons comparing real estate to the stock market. The first metric we will compare is the capital required in order to get started. Well, with the stock market, due to the fractional shares, you can literally get started investing with as little as a single dollar. Whereas with real estate, if you're looking to obtain even a traditional loan, it requires a 20% down payment. So if you were purchasing a $300,000 property, you would need at least $60,000 just for the down payment. Now, there are other workarounds and you can get creative with the financing. However, that makes obtaining a loan even more difficult in some circumstances. If you have less than $50,000 in cash, then you may need to save up more in order to get started in real estate. The second metric is liquidity. In this case, the stock market also wins because you can buy and sell stocks very easily and get your money out in as little as 2 days. Whereas if your money is tied up in real estate, even if you found a buyer, it still takes typically 30 to 60 days to close. The third metric is volatility. Real estate wins in that aspect. The stock market can be very volatile and can move drastically from day to day, whereas real estate prices typically don't move nearly as much. The next aspect is control over your investment. And this goes to real estate as well. With real estate, you have more control over your rental property business than you do over the stock market business that you're investing in, because you have full discretion over what changes you would like to make to that property or that business, whereas you are not the CEO of the corporation that you're investing in. The fifth aspect is tax benefits, and this hands down goes to real estate. In order to talk about all of the tax benefits that come with real estate, we would need a totally separate video. Just know that the government highly incentivizes real estate owners. And the only tax benefits you get from owning shares of a company is if you own the shares for at least a year or longer in order to be considered long-term capital gains. And the last metric is the ability to be successful on your own. And this definitely goes to the stock market. When you invest in a stock, you don't need a single other person in order to do so. Whereas if you're buying rental property, you could possibly need an entire team to be successful. This team could consist of your lenders, your contractors, and even your tenants. And that's not to mention if you have a property manager in place. If any of those 4 individuals do not do their job correctly, then they can cause you quite the headache, especially your tenants. Having the wrong tenants can literally make real estate not even worth the hassle. But the biggest question you want to know is which investment will make you more money? Well, this chart here shows the S&P 500 versus the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. The red line shows the stock market over the last 50 years and the black line shows home prices. Over this time span, the stock market is up 5,206% as of February 2024, while home prices are only up 1,281% during the same time frame. So really, it's not even close. If we make all things equal and compare a $10,000 investment in each category 50 years ago, a $10,000 investment in the stock market would have returned $5,216,000 as of February 2024, whereas a $10,000 investment into real estate 50 years ago would come out to only $1,291,000. Now, obviously, they both would have made an amazing investment at that time. However, there is one that is clearly better than the other. Now, you could say, well, that was over the last 50 years, but how about the last 10 years? Well, let's take a look. Now, we only have data for real estate going up to October 2023. If we compare both the stock market and real estate over 10 years ending in October 2023, the stock market is up 136%, whereas real estate is only up 93%. So, using the same comparison, if you would have invested $10,000 into the stock market 10 years ago, you would be up $23,600. Whereas an investment in the real estate would be up $19,300. Now with real estate, this amount does not factor in the amount you could have received from rental income during that time frame. But it also does not factor in the expenses and surprise expenses that you could have had with that property. So once all of that is factored in, the real estate numbers could possibly be much closer to the stock market. So with all of that information, it is very clear that they are both great investment vehicles. However, when it comes solely to making more money, the stock market seems to be the winner. But for me, the stock market becomes the very clear winner when I factor in my options trading. I own multiple businesses, however, trading options has been my primary source of income over the last 4 years, as I've been able to bring in multiple 6 figures yearly. If you're interested in learning about my options trading process, you can join my Trade to Freedom community and online course at the link below. Within this community, I publish my exact trades in real time, and if you're new to options, it also comes with a complimentary A to Z options course. Again, the link is in the description below. When comparing the stock market to real estate, a crucial factor to consider is risk and volatility. Stocks tend to be more volatile with the potential for higher returns, but also greater risk. Real estate, conversely, is often seen as a more stable and less volatile investment. You also don't have a price above your house every single day letting you know how much it's worth like you do in the stock market. So for some people, that out of sight, out of mind aspect is a major benefit. Another pivotal aspect to ponder is income generation. Real estate can offer a steady stream of income through rent, providing a level of financial stability that stocks may not always deliver by themselves. However, using the power of options, you can generate weekly and monthly income. An example of this would be covered calls. For me personally, covered calls remind me a lot of real estate. With covered calls, as long as you own 100 shares of a company, you can sell covered calls on that stock and receive weekly or monthly income. So this is how that will work. Let's say you own 100 shares of Apple and you paid $175 per share for that stock. Well, what you could do is sell a covered call at any price above $175 and receive premium for doing so. So in this case, you own the shares at $175 and you sold a covered call at $185 for 30 days out. Now for doing so, you receive $200 worth of premium. Now, as long as Apple's stock price stays below $185 on expiration date, you simply keep your $200 and go about your day. If Apple's stock price goes above $185, then you simply sell your shares to the buyer. So I see covered calls very similar to real estate because instead of owning a house, you're owning shares of a company and receiving weekly or monthly income from those shares. And it comes with a lot less headaches like tenants calling you at 3 a.m. because the toilet is broken. Just saying. So what's the verdict? The decision between stocks and real estate ultimately hinges on your financial goals, risk tolerance, and investment strategy. Both avenues offer unique advantages and challenges, and a diversified portfolio may be the key to a well-balanced investment strategy. Well guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to join me in the Trade to Freedom community below. And until next time, peace.